Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we have a visitor, our little Skittles. She's a 2.5 years old miniature pincher, and while she saw me going to take video, she said, I'm going to be in this picture. Daddy, please hold me up. So she was scratching me so that she can climb and sit on my hands. And here she is. And today it's a very beautiful day, and look at the fall. We are enjoying the last bit of fall season here, and my backyard looks so golden yellowish color, and it's amazing. Anyway, let's come back to the video. Let me put her down slowly. I hope she won't mind. Bye, Skittles. Say bye-bye. Okay. Stay. Okay, so today we are going to talk about how to froth milk for latte art. Now, as you know, Breville Barista Express, the steam wand is not powerful. It's a bit slow compared to other commercial machines. It's really slow. Now, you could froth milk within 10 to 14 seconds in a commercial steam wand, but the Breville Barista Express can take up to 1.5 minutes, which is really long. But there are some tips to keep in mind so that you get a consistent milk frothing for latte art. Now, it took me several months to practice and get the latte art right. Anyway, one of my viewer in my channel, Anthony, he requested me whether I could post a video on consistent milk frothing. So today's video is about that, how to achieve that consistent milk frothing. Now, there are several tips to keep in mind when you froth the milk in Breville Barista Express. Now, there are certain things like taking a cold pitcher, the quantity of milk that you pour in the pitcher. And next is the position of the steam wand, and how much do you dip the tip of the steam wand in the milk. How much bubbles do you introduce into the milk, and also to get that swivel motion in the milk. And last but not the least, the temperature. It shouldn't go higher than 165 or 170 Fahrenheit. And at last you tap and do the last swivel motion, and then you're ready to pour latte art. So let's have a closer look on how to froth the milk on Breville Barista Express. Now, first thing is you take the milk pitcher. This is the one that came with Breville. Make sure it is cold. Some people keep it in the freezer and some people keep it in the fridge. Anyway, you make it cold so that you get more time to froth the milk. Now, that makes the bubbles to incorporate into the milk well. Now, the next thing is the quantity of the milk that you pour. You must be consistent. If you are going to make latte, this cup size is for a single shot espresso. So you don't need a lot of milk to make a single shot. So for that cup, I'll take milk around this level, that is just below the spout. Now, in this video, I'm going to use full milk. Even 2% milk works fine for this. This is what I have, and this is what I use. This is the full milk, 3.25%. Pour it gently just below the spout. You don't need a lot of bubbles in that. Now you see that it's just below the spout there. That should be good for a single latte. Now the next step is the steam wand position. Now you have to be very careful with the position of the steam wand. Let me show you some mistake. You don't want to dip it deep inside like this, and some people leave it here. Now that's wrong. And some others, they don't dip the steam wand well enough. It will be just above the milk. That can create a lot of foam, which can destroy the purpose of latte. Some people put it in the middle. This is also wrong. So what is the correct position of the steam wand? Now I would like to pull out the steam wand to the maximum angle. That's all it goes. And you can move it to the position you're comfortable with. So for this video purpose, I'll put it in this position and make sure it rests on this spout here. And I don't go exactly in the middle, I go off center a bit like this. Now why I do is because you need to get the swivel motion. The milk should rotate nicely inside the pitcher. That's how you achieve by putting the spout a bit off center. Now how much do you dip the steam wand? Now you start with the steam wand maybe 1 centimeter inside the milk, somewhere there. That's how I start. And then listen whether it's introducing more or less bubbles. If it's introducing a lot of bubbles, then what you do is you just need to lift the pitcher up so that it stops bubbling up a lot. Now if it's not bubbling too much, what you do is you bring the pitcher a bit down till you hear the bubbles forming, and you stop at that position. So somewhere here would be the right to start with. And always listen, be a good listener when you froth the milk. Now what are you listening for? You listen for the high tone. If you hear something like a high pitch, like a whistle, that means your steam wand is too much inside the milk. So what you do is you bring the pitcher down till you hear the right sound. What is the right sound? When you hear the hiss sound, like that's the right sound you need to hear. That means it's introducing the right amount of bubbles into the milk. You don't need to introduce quickly, you don't need to introduce slowly, you need the right way. So make sure you hear that hiss sound in between, and not too much. Also, next thing, you watch how much milk it rises. If it's rising quickly, that means you're doing something wrong. The latte art won't work. The milk should rise very slowly. So once you get the correct steam wand position, almost a centimeter in the milk, and get the right angle, just a bit off center, now you're ready to start. You can switch on. And after you switch on, make sure you get that swivel motion. And you have to wait for another 1.5 minutes in order for the milk to be in the right temperature. Now some people use a thermometer like this, and you watch the temperature. It should be around 155 to 165 Fahrenheit. It shouldn't go beyond that. I normally don't use that because I know when the milk temperature becomes 160. One simple tip is to feel the pitcher. Use the other hand to feel the temperature. If you cannot touch more than a second, that means your milk temperature has reached the right temperature. Now I'll pull a nice espresso shot, and then I'll continue showing you how to froth the milk. Now the next step to do is you need to purge and warm up the steam wand, and To do that, you turn the dial to steam on position, and you need to purge the excess water or steam which is in the wand, and then you don't want the water to be in the milk, so you purge it. That's the sound you need to avoid. So to avoid, just drop the pitcher a bit down. So that stopped. So it's introducing bubbles now. That should be good. So I'm going to lift my pitcher a bit and make sure you hear that hiss sound, that sound. And feel the temperature by holding the pitcher. Occasionally you can introduce more bubbles by that hiss sound. That looks good. You purge and wipe the steam on immediately. Now, this is the texture you should achieve. Like a wet paint. Not too much bubbles, but it's very tiny micro bubbles in it. So now you're ready to pour. Make sure you don't leave it for a long time. Before pouring, make sure if there are any big bubbles, just give a tap. That will break all the bubbles, and give a final swivel, and you're ready to pour. And the angle of the cup, make sure you tilt it in a 45-degree angle and then start pouring. It will be two-stage. Now hold the pitcher up so that the milk goes down in the coffee. Second stage is you're ready to draw. After drawing, lift up your pitcher and finish it off. Anyway, I hope you got the basic tips on how to froth the milk properly for latte art, and I'll give you 3 tips. Practice, practice, practice. That's the only way you can learn. Try to get the steam wand in the correct position, correct angle, and also be a good listener. Listen to that hiss sound, introduce bubbles slowly into the milk, and watch the milk rise. It shouldn't rise quickly, it should rise slowly. And don't introduce too much bubble, just a thin layer of bubble should be fine, good enough for the latte art. If you introduce too much, you won't be able to draw. And if you introduce too little, the art will be destroyed quickly as soon as you draw. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't. I'll be posting more videos on Breville Barista Express and some tips and some coffee recipes. So stay tuned and good night.